Good morning, everyone. And what we're looking at here is the gold chart, XAU-USD on the 15-minute time frame. And this is not today, this is yesterday. Before we look at today's chart, I just wanted to review this one. This is yesterday. This candle here, you see this big uh, bearish candle initially, and then it finished with a wick. Let me just go over and give me a moment while I grab the link here in YouTube and share this on my Telegram channel. So we can get a few people to join in from my Telegram channel. And now I'm back. Okay. And we're looking at the full day from yesterday, from the start of the day over to here. And we didn't have much movement, a little bit of up and down until Wall Street opened on this candle here, and it made a big move down initially with the opening of Wall Street at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Indo-China time. And then we had this rejection at this level here, and it started to move way back up. So if you saw this rejection at this level here, you could have got in on a long trade, which I did, and rode that all the way up here for about 100 pips, easily 100, 150 pips. And then we saw another deeper sweep to a slightly lower level down to here, and then another rejection at this level here around 51.30. And then if you saw that rejection, you could have done really well, got a massive big move there, higher before it pulled back a little bit and then continued its bullish run throughout the rest of the reasonable moves during the New York session, but you had to be patient and wait for your strategy to play out and pull the trigger. And of course, use good risk management and don't overtrade, don't overlot. And now let's move over to today's chart. Here we go to today. This is still the 15-minute time frame, and this is the trend line strategy. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I love Fridays, and that means the weekend is coming up. And the Asia market just opened. At least it opened earlier with Tokyo, and that is this candle right here, this green one. That's the Tokyo Open. And now we're getting the opening of Singapore and Shanghai, which is usually tends to be the best moves. Sometimes you don't get very big moves during the Tokyo session, although we did have an initially move up slightly and then a big drop back down to this pivot level. This is the pivot point, 51.72, pivot point for the day, where it will move away from and go higher and move away from and go lower throughout the day. It's kind of like a magnet. Trading at 51.75 right now, waiting to see what this opening of Singapore and Shanghai is going to do. And if you're watching today, let me know where you're watching from. I always like to see where people are watching from. We get people from all over the world, Colombia, Canada, Africa, from all different places. I am live in Southeast Asia, Indochina, that means Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, of course, Malaysia and Singapore also, but that's 1 hour later than where I am. So it looks like we might turn bearish during this session. And my trend line strategy says if it breaks and closes below that green line, then I should go short. However, that means my stop loss is way up here, and that's about a $30 stop loss. That's a lot bigger stop loss than what I want to take. I could reduce my lot size, but that's quite a big stop loss. $30 or 300 pips. So I'll probably just kind of wait and see if it's going to come back up into this area here where I would have a little bit tighter stop loss. But it looks like we're going to be bearish for this first opening candle. Hmm. Well, I'll be just interesting, just watching and waiting. I would normally be really interested to pull the trigger on a short trade here, but the stop loss would be so far away. My stop loss would be, let me just give you an indication of where the stop loss would normally. This is what we call my safety line here, this red downward trend line. This is my safety line. So I put my stop loss up there above it, give it some breathing room if it should break above that. And then possibly sometimes it will come up and respect the trend line and then continue down. So that's my safety line. If it break above that, then the trade's going to go the opposite direction. And right now where it was, that's 51. So I'm really not interested in going short for the moment. I'm going to wait and see how it plays out. And the way it's playing out is pulling back from that short move. That's why you need to be patient, and I like to let the candle close before taking a trade. If you're watching, say hello, say hi, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. Don't forget to smash that like button. It does help the channel. And we might just jump over and look at the news. I hope I don't interrupt my connection when I do this. Let me just see if we can switch over to forexfactory.com momentarily. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, okay. And do we have any news today? Well, at 1 hour before Wall Street opens, we have the GDP on the Canadian economy, and then two items on the U.S. economy. That's the core PPI month on month and the PPI month on month. And those are all high impact news items which you need to be watching for. Typically, the knee jerk reaction. You get a lot of retail traders following the candles, chasing the candles on those. And then within about 30 minutes or so after this data is released, it usually goes right back to what it was doing. But that's what it is, what it is. This is the news 1 hour before on Friday, February the 27th. And we just go back to our 15-minute chart here on gold, XAU USD. And how about that? It's broken well above. I'm so glad I didn't chase that candle. It looked like it was going to be bearish. Hey, It certainly looked like it was going to be bearish. That's why it's so important to, as I always say, wait till the candle closes before you pull the trigger. Got a few people watching here. Let me just, maybe my chats are not showing up. Nobody commenting just yet. Let me know where you're watching from. Just Kevin. Hey, yeah, Kevin, I remember you're from Melbourne. After you say that a few times, then it starts to sink in. I get so many people watching, I can't remember where everybody's from, but it takes a few times. And we had quite a few people watching the Wall Street session last night. Lunchtime there, eh? Yeah, that's 4 hours difference from Bangkok. It's just about 12 minutes past 8 in the morning here. We had quite a few people watching the Wall Street session last night. And then I look over at YouTube and I said we actually had 100 views on yesterday's Asia session. So it seems a lot of people come back and watch the recording. But I'm glad that people are here when it's live. We had a lot of people joining in last night on the Wall Street session. We had a lot of people trading together. I'll just go back and show that yesterday's chart for those of you that just tuned in. We had a big drop down when the Wall Street opened, then a rejection at that level. And I saw the rejection, so I went long right in here somewhere and went up. And then we had several people joining in that trade. It turned out to be very good. This was a previous resistance level, and it stopped there, and then went back down, did a deeper liquidity sweep, and then it rejected that level and came back up here. And then this one was a really good trade. This was about an hour after Wall Street opened, and then it made a really good move up to the next resistance level, and then it just kind of fizzled around and went down and went back up and closed fairly bullish during the New York session. So I had a lot of traders participating in the trades last night in the Wall Street session. That was a very, very good session last night. But that was yesterday. Today is Friday, February 27th, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I love Fridays. That means we have the weekend coming up, 2 days off. No looking at the charts. Go and see a movie. I saw Crime 101 last Saturday with Chris Hemsworth and Halle Berry. That was a pretty good movie if you like watching movies. I go to one or two movies every week, kind of a movie buff. I don't know if there's anything good showing this weekend. I haven't checked the program yet. But even though I can remember, Kevin, that you're from Melbourne, always just, every time you come in, just tell me. It's good to see that in the chat group. From Melbourne, from Colombia, from Canada, from Bahamas, from New Zealand. Good to see that variety. From Ghana, we had someone from Ghana the other day in Africa. Sometimes I believe the guy's named Zachariah from Morocco watches sometimes. That's the next place I want to go is Morocco. I haven't been to that part of Africa. I'd love to go to Casablanca and Marrakesh. That's on my bucket list, and maybe I'll do that this year. I'm going to Dubai in April. Again, I've been to Dubai 4 or 5 times already. I really like Dubai, and I'll be going in April and staying for 3 weeks. It's going to be a nice long holiday. So I will be doing live, but it won't be the Asian session. The time zone is too different. I'm not going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do live from Dubai. So I'll probably be doing the London and the New York session. Is life expensive in Dubai? Yes, crazy expensive. It's insane. But it's an exciting place. It's electric. Everybody's business minded. You get 3 or 4 really big trade expos every year and very well attended. Crypto is recognized and used and legal. You can buy a car, you can buy a house with cryptocurrency. It's just an amazing place. Everything there is the biggest, the fastest, the tallest, the best. It's amazing. And everything works really well. It's all high tech, all very, very high tech. Of course, it gets very hot in the summertime. I went there one summer and it was 50 degrees. I mean, that's really hot. But then it gets cold in the wintertime. Gets down to about 12, 13, 14 degrees in the wintertime. Not, it doesn't snow, but it gets cold. It doesn't even get that cold where I live in Thailand. So not too much happening with the opening yet. This is the second candle started now, and we had that rejection just below the pivot point. So I'll adjust my trend line a little bit now. That candle is finished. Put that right there. That gives me even a wider move. If it was to break below this, that would give me a bigger stop loss. So I'm really waiting to see if this will just kind of consolidate in this zone here and come over here. And then if it breaks one way or the other, I've got a very decent stop loss. We might just quickly look at the 4-hour chart, and you can see why it's not doing very much on the 4-hour chart. All we're doing for 2 weeks, we were just in this consolidation zone. And then it finally did break. This is our market structure here. And then it finally broke above structure. We had a break of structure here on Monday, and now it's in a new consolidation zone all week long. Even yesterday and today, it's just, you look at this 4-hour chart, it's just sideways. On the 4-hour chart, gold is actually neutral now. And that's pretty obvious when you look at the chart. It's not bullish or bearish, it's neutral. So we might come up today and trade at this high that we've had during the week, 52.49, or we might come down to the low of 50.5093. But it hasn't done that even for the last yesterday and day before. It's just a really, really tight range. So we're kind of waiting on a breakout. And whether or not we're going to see a breakout is determined by the current geopolitical situation. If they start a war in the Mideast, then we're very likely to see gold break out above this, move to higher prices. But gold has cooled off at the moment because the situation is uncertain in the Middle East. And if they resolve that situation, then we might see gold cool off just even more and come back down to lower prices. Let me just save that chart. Okay, and now I can change to my trend line strategy. There we go. Back to today's action. Really not doing much at all. Just a rejection here at 51.65 and then a move back up. And this yellow line here, this is where if it had broke below this green line, this is where I would have put my stop loss. And that was a little bit too far away from what I generally like to see. So as you know, on this trend line strategy, if it breaks below the green line, I go short. I put my stop loss above the red line. If it breaks and closes above the red line, then I put my stop loss below the green line. But not seeing any kind of trade set up according to this trend line strategy just yet. And you can see if we look at oil. Yeah, oil is dropping down. Went up a little bit during the New York session, but dropped down during the day. So it's still around 65 now, $64, and that is because there's uncertainty in the Middle East. We did get a big move up when it looked like there was going to be some reaction in the Middle East, but then now it's cooled off and it's started to come back down. Still trading around. We had a low yesterday of 63, go back up, and now it's come back down. Now we're trading at $64. And they say that if there is a war in the Middle East, then that would cause more instability with the movement of oil and we'll see higher prices on oil. Trying to change back to my gold chart. There we go. Just froze up, just lost me for a second there. Sorry about that. I don't have a real great internet connection at my condo. So 5 minutes left on this second 15-minute candle. Not much going on. Very quiet. If you just tuned in, let me know where you're watching from. And if you come in even after the recording, if you're watching the recording, I believe you can still type in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. Tradesby, Trades by SD. Hey, guy. Montreal. Okay, Ontario. Another Canadian tunes in. That's great. I really like Canada. I like Ontario and Quebec. I've been there a few times. My friend lives in Gatineau, Quebec, so I usually stay in that area. I stay near the casino, sometimes stay at the casino at the Hilton. I'm doing good, Trades by SD. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? It must be cold in Canada right now. I always check the weather. I don't know how you guys put up with that cold. I never go there in the wintertime. I go there in -10 in Ottawa. That's not too cold for you guys. That's kind of normal. Not too bad. I only go there in the summertime. I only go there in July and August. September, it already starts to get too cold for me. So we got one more minute on this second candle here. Not doing much at all. You cannot really, if you do take a trade on gold, you cannot hold it for very long. This is just day trading, guys. Just day trading only. This is not swing trading with gold. You cannot swing trade gold right now. It's trading in a very tight range. So if you get a good buy trade, maybe you can get 100 pips, maybe 150 pips, and that's it. Either long or short. Don't expect that you can hold it for very long. Until we get a break of structure and move to higher prices or start to move to lower prices, whichever. Gold is just for day trading right now. I did watch the hockey match between USA and Canada. That was a great match. Really a good match. I really sorry that. Okay, I just lost my internet there for a second. Sorry about that. I don't have a really good connection where I am, so it sometimes will phase out like that. So what's my directional bias for today? Hmm. I let the price tell me what it's going to do, which way it's going to go. As I just said, let me show you again in case you came in late. To determine my directional bias, I look at the bigger time frames, and this is the 4-hour time frame, and there is no clear direction this week, okay, in a very, very tight range. This is just day trading, guys. You cannot hold this trade, any of these gold trades for very long. Get in, get out. You can get 100 pips, 150 pips, you've done really well. So there is no clear direction. What's my directional bias? There is no clear direction. Gold is neutral. So for a day trade, I'm waiting for the price to tell me whether it's going to come up to this resistance level we have here at 5250, 5250, or is it going to come down to this support level at 5093? Just waiting for the price to tell me what it's going to do. That's my bias, to sit on my hands and wait for the price to tell me what it's going to do. Okay, just changing between the charts, it kind of hesitates on me there. Yeah, and you need to be careful on trading in such a tight range, it will fake you out. Like this was the first candle opening of the Singapore and Shanghai market, and it looked like it was going to be bearish, but it rejected that level right there at 5165 and came right back up. So with this trend line strategy, what I wait for, I wait for it to either break below and close below the trend line, and then I would go short. And I have support down here at 5140, 5140 zone, and then I have resistance above here at 5215, 5215. But it needs to break above and close above this red trend line. That's how my trend line strategy works. All of this sideways movement in here, I don't try to trade that. If you're a scalper and you go to the 1 minute chart, you can get a couple of good trades in here. A pretty good momentum candle there. Now it's pulling back. Have you guys ever been to Thailand? That's where I live. The weather is great. The culture is great. The food is delicious. The people are very friendly, and it's much cheaper than Western countries. I came here for the first time in 1989, and I stayed. So I've been here 37 years, 36 years. This is my 37th year. I fell in love with it as soon as I got here. It's great. Come on. The internet's really playing up with me now. There we go. Just had a brief outage. Oh, getting a good momentum candle here. This is the 8:30 a.m. candle. Now, looks like we might be heading towards higher prices. Maybe we'll get up to this trend line, break above, and then maybe go for resistance at 5214. That was, I believe that was our high of yesterday. Yeah, we didn't even get that high. Our high yesterday was 5206. So getting a little bit of action. They were a little bit slow to wake up, the Singapore and Shanghai market, but now they're moving. Ah, I'm going to stay here until this candle finishes. Wow, look at that. Big, big. Oh, oh, turning bullish now. And you can see it's bounced off of this pivot point. That's a strong support level there at 51.72. It's just played around there for the last hour, but now it's decided to make the move. Big move, in fact. Excellent move. And I'm not going to chase the candle. I wait for it to close above my red trend line. And if it does that, I will go long and I will put my stop loss below the green safety line at 51.68. If it breaks and closes above this, then that's where my stop loss would be. Still got another 7 minutes on this candle. So we'll see if that what materializes. Hey, Raj, you just get home from work? No need to apologize. So this candle here, this is the 8:30. This is the third candle, third 15-minute candle. Had a big momentum move up here, bouncing off of this pivot point. But the first 30 minutes has been quite boring. Nothing to see. Nothing to see here. Not yet. Is it going to respect this trend line and then come back down, or is it going to break above and close above? That's what we're waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for. I suspect that some of you are using a different strategy, and that's fine. This is my trend line strategy and that's how I implement the trend line strategy. Break above and close above the red line, and I call that my action line. I take I go long, put my stop loss below the green upward trend line. That would be the safety line. It's a big stop loss though. I would rather that it was over in this area here before it does that, but you can't force the trade. You can't force the market to do what you want it to do. Although a lot of retail traders try to do that. Yeah, Raj, you tuned in a little bit late. I've been showing everybody the 4-hour chart, and you can really see that range. We've been in a range all week long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days here. It broke above structure. We were in a range for like 2 or 3 weeks. Then it broke above that. Now we're in a new range. This is a new consolidation level here. So we need to break above this structure or break below this structure before we're out of this range. This is a new range here, and it's a very tight range. Nothing going on at all. Even today's candle, you can see a very, very small candle. So that's why I say only for the day traders right now. You cannot hold it for very long. Get in, get out. If you can get 100 pips, 150 pips, you've done really well. I did pretty good last night in the Wall Street session. I saw this liquidity grab right here, and as it started to reject that level, I went long and then got out right here, and then I just let it do that second liquidity sweep, and then as it started to move back up, got in here, and that was another good trade there. But you cannot hold it for very long. This one I held for about 15 minutes, not even. I think it was 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes. And this is a 15-minute candle here. And I know it's very late for you guys down under. And just had another brief outage there. Sorry about that. Yeah, nice scalps. That's all you can do. It's not, it's, kind of extended scalps, not really scalps, but yeah, kind of in and out. But you got to be careful with your entries. Keep your finger on the pulse. So it looks like we have respected that trend line and starting to fall back down now. 2 more minutes left on this, or 1 more minute left on this candle here. So if you're a scalper, then and you're chasing this candle here, you gotta get out pretty quick. It's already starting to fall back down. Sometimes I do go over and look at the 1 minute chart. And we got another, oh, now the next candle has started. What's it going to do? And while we're waiting on that to show its colors, I'll just remind everybody that's watching, if you want to message me, you can reach me directly on Telegram, and my ID is @RickRayFX. Got any questions or comments or inquiries? That's where you can reach me. I do have WhatsApp and Line, but Telegram is my main one. And of course, if you're new to trading, be sure and check out my website, rickrayfx.com. That's where you can find more information about trading, prop firms, robot trading, copy trading, free indicators. It's a really complete website, especially for new traders. So this first big momentum candle here, just respecting the trend line, and now it looks like they're trying to make a decision. They're going to break above that or fall back below. TGIF, thank God it's Friday, the 27th of February. One more day in this month. Tomorrow's the last day of February, and then we're already starting in March on Sunday. Start a new month. Hard to believe. 2 months of this year already gone. So that was a big momentum candle, and then the momentum just kind of fizzled out on the last candle for this hour. So you know what I'm going to do. If it breaks above and closes above this trend line, that means I'll have to wait another 12 minutes. Then I will go long, and I'll put my stop loss down here at 51.67. But we'll just see if that's going to happen. And for now, I'm going to go ahead and sign out, guys. I haven't had my first cup of coffee yet. So thank all of you for tuning in. Don't forget to smash that like button. It does help the channel. Thank you for being here. I'll see you again if you're awake. If it's your right time in the world and wherever you are, I'll be here for the New York session. That's at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 9:30 p.m. Indo-China time. And of course, I'll be back on Monday at the same time for the Asian session. So thank everybody for being here. I appreciate it. If you've got any trade going, let me know. Leave in the comments section or let me know in Telegram. I will chat with you. Interested to hear what trades you're taking and how trading is working out for you. And if I can help you in any way, let me know. I'll be glad to do what I can. Okay, have a great weekend wherever you are. Remember TGIF. Thank God it's Friday today. Whatever you're doing on Saturday and Sunday, I hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you again next time.